Once upon a time, in a quaint village by the sea, there lived a merchant named Laurent. Though once prosperous, a violent storm at sea had claimed his ships and wealth, leaving his family with little more than a humble cottage to call home. Among his 6 children, the youngest daughter, Camille, shone not for her beauty alone but for her industriousness, kindness, and willingness to help others. She learned household skills with grace and quickly earned the affection of their neighbors, who admired her humble and generous spirit. As the years passed, Laurent's hopes remained pinned on the return of his last ship. But when it finally arrived, it brought cargo but no profit. His creditors had claimed everything. Disheartened yet determined, Laurent set out to reclaim his wealth. One stormy evening, the merchant found himself seeking shelter at a grand, foreboding chateau, whose towers rose high into the night sky and whose windows gleamed mysteriously in the lightning flashes. Unaware of the house's owner, Laurent stepped inside and, exhausted and famished, consumed some food laid out on a large wooden table. Soon, he was confronted by the master of the house, Baron Antoine, a figure feared by the villagers, rumored to be monstrous and cruel. But the Baron's anger was tempered by reason. Laurent had trespassed and consumed his food, damaging his prized rose bush in the process. Unable to repay in gold, Laurent faced a dilemma. Someone from his family would have to go to the chateau to work off the debt. Without hesitation, Camille volunteered. Brave and selfless, she left her family behind to take on the daunting task of managing the vast, neglected estate. The chateau was imposing and gloomy, its walls darkened by neglect, yet Camille embraced her role with courage. She befriended the Baron's loyal servant, Gabriel, who guided her through the labyrinthine halls and secret corners of the estate. Camille soon discovered that the Baron, far from being the beastly figure the villagers imagined, was a learned and kind-hearted man. He had once been vain and proud, and his missteps had led to a curse, an external reflection of his inner turmoil and isolation. Through long days of service and patience, Camille brought light to the chateau, cleaning its dust-covered rooms, tending its neglected gardens, and offering warmth where none had been felt for years. Her curiosity led her to Antoine's vast library, filled with volumes on philosophy, science, and history. Here, she learned of his introspection and quest for knowledge. Antoine, in turn, recognized Camille's unique gifts, her humility, intelligence, and kindness, and began to open his heart. Slowly, the walls between them fell away, and a bond of respect and understanding grew. One day, Camille accompanied Antoine to her village for her sister's wedding. The villagers, wary and judgmental, were startled to see the man they had always feared. Many whispered and pointed, recalling tales of his supposed monstrousness. But Camille, with quiet dignity and courage, spoke of his true character, revealing the gentle, wise, and noble man behind the rumors. This act of courage and compassion was more than words, it was transformative. The curse upon Antoine was lifted, his beastly form fading to reveal a handsome and dignified man. The chateau, once shadowed and dreary, now bloomed with flowers and light, a reflection of the renewal within its master and its caretaker. The story concluded in joy and harmony. Camille and Antoine were married in the blooming gardens of the chateau, surrounded by the beauty they had nurtured together. Their union was a testament to the power of kindness, understanding, and love, proof that true nobility comes from character, courage, and compassion rather than wealth or appearances. And so, under the gentle glow of moonlight and the soft whisper of the garden breeze, the chateau stood as a place of peace and learning. Camille and Antoine shared not just love but wisdom, their lives intertwined with the lessons of humility, responsibility, and the transformative power of empathy.